Night falls on Earth Border Station 9. The sky is quiet, but the scanners are not. Officer Rain sits in the control room, staring at the radar. Suddenly a loud beep shakes the silence. Something enters the atmosphere fast and low. It is not a meteor. It is not a ship they know. The object crashes in the desert, just 5 miles from the station. Rain grabs his gear and calls for backup. 3 soldiers follow him in a rover. The desert is dark and dry. Sand flies in the air as they move forward. When they reach the crash site, they see smoke and broken metal. The ship is alien, small and damaged, but something moves inside. Rain raises his weapon and gives a sign to stay alert. The door of the alien ship opens slowly. A tall woman steps out. Her skin is light blue. Her eyes glow faint green. She holds a small child in her arms. The child hides her face in the woman's shoulder. Rain shouts, "Identify yourself." The alien woman does not speak. She raises her hand slowly, a peaceful gesture. Rain steps closer. The girl lifts her head. She looks just like a human child, but her eyes are violet, and her voice is soft when she speaks. "Please do not hurt my mommy." Rain freezes. He lowers his weapon a little. The soldiers look at each other confused. Rain asks, "Who are you? Where did you come from?" The woman finally speaks. Her voice is calm. "We come in peace. My ship was attacked. We escaped. We crashed." Rain informs HQ. The voice on the other end is cold. "Bring them in, process them for deportation." Rain hesitates. The woman sits on the ground and holds the child close. She does not resist. She does not argue. Rain sees fear in the child's eyes, but also something else. Trust. At the station, the alien woman is placed in a holding room. The child is taken for medical check. She cries quietly, asking for her mother. Rain watches from the control room. His commander enters. "Good work. We will deport the female tomorrow. We cannot allow aliens near the inner zones. Too risky, too many secrets." Rain asks, "What about the child?" The commander says she goes too. They are not our problem. Later that night, Rain walks past the holding cell. The girl is awake, sitting alone. She sees Rain and runs to the bars. "Please, please do not take my mommy. She is not bad. She saved me. She saved a man with earth clothes long ago, but then bad people came. They wanted us gone. We ran." Rain kneels beside the bars. He looks at the girl closely. She speaks perfect Earth English, no accent. Her words are clear and innocent. Rain asks, "How do you know this language?" The girl says, "My mommy taught me, and my daddy was like you." Rain's heart beats faster. He asks, "Where is your father?" The girl's face drops. She whispers, "They took him long ago." Rain walks away, his mind full of questions. Who is the mother? Who is the father? How does a child like this exist back in the command center? He checks old records. He types in keywords. Alien rescue, missing officers, cross-species child. Something pops up, a mission from 5 years ago. One officer lost, presumed dead near an alien world. No body found. Rain reads the report again and again. Could it be? Is this girl telling the truth? He closes the screen and looks at the camera feed. The mother holds the child in the corner of the room. Both look tired. Both look afraid. Rain's hand moves to the intercom. He does not press the button. Not yet. Outside the window, the stars shine, peaceful and cold. But inside the station, a storm is beginning to rise, and in Rain's heart, peaceful and cold, choice is forming, one that may change everything he believes. The past she hides. The morning sky glows orange as the sun rises behind Earth Border Station 9. Officer Rain stands at the edge of the observation deck, looking at the distant mountains. His mind is not calm. Sleep did not come to him last night. The voice of the little girl still echoes in his thoughts. "Please do not take my mommy." He has heard many things in his years of service. Screams, lies, threats, begging, but this voice was different. Soft, honest, and full of pain. Rain walks to the archive room. It smells like old metal and burnt circuits. He taps into the classified database. His access code allows him to search restricted records. He types slowly, "Missing officer 5 years ago. Location, Outer Zone Delta. Mission status failed. Target lost. Last signal received from deep space." Final log entry shows emergency beacon triggered near the ruins of a collapsed alien colony. Reads more. The officer's name was Commander Elias Ford, a man known for bravery and sharp judgment. Rain opens the officer's profile. A picture appears. Strong face, dark eyes, calm smile. A scar above his left brow. Rain feels something strange. The eyes look familiar. They match the little girl. Rain takes a deep breath. He needs answers, real answers. He walks down the hallway to the holding cell. Inside, the alien mother sits with her child on her lap. The girl sleeps. The mother looks up as Rain enters. Her eyes are tired but strong. Rain sits on the other side of the glass. He speaks quietly. Who are you? Why did you come here? Why does your daughter speak Earth English? Woman looks at her daughter, then back at Rain. She begins to speak slowly, her voice like soft wind in the desert. My name is Lyra. I was once part of a research group working with humans. Not all aliens want war. Some of us want peace. Some of us believe in building something better. 5 years ago, a ship from Earth crashed on our planet. Only one man survived. He was hurt. Afraid. I helped him. I healed him. I learned his language. Rain listens without a word. Lyra continues. At first he did not trust me. But time changed that. We shared stories. We shared pain. We shared hope. He taught me about Earth. He spoke of oceans and cities and music. He missed his home. But he said he had no one waiting. No family. No ties. One night our camp was attacked. A rogue group from my own kind. They hated humans. They hated peace. They came with fire. We ran. He fought beside me. We survived the night. But when Earth ships arrived, they did not rescue him. They took him, and I never saw him again. Rain feels something heavy in his chest. He asks slowly, was his name Elias Ford? Lyra nods. Yes, that was his name. He told me he was a soldier. He promised to return. He never did. But he left me with a gift. Our daughter. Rain looks at the sleeping child. A mix of two worlds, born from love, not war. He remembers the order from HQ, deport immediately, no exceptions. He remembers the cold voice of his commander. The law is the law. Rain speaks again. Why come here now? Lyra says, because they are hunting us. Not just from your world, but from mine too. They say we are a mistake, an error that must be erased. But my child is not a mistake. She is Hopper. Rain stands slowly. He says nothing. He walks out of the room and back to his station. The world outside is waking up, but inside the station, everything feels different now. He opens the girl's medical report again. One line keeps flashing. In his mind, DNA analysis confirms human hybrid father match, found in Earth military record. Subject deceased status, unconfirmed. Rain closes the file and locks the system. Someone else is watching. He knows it. He feels it in the way the system lags. The way the lights flicker. Someone does not want this truth known. He looks at the camera feed again. Lyra is awake. She strokes her daughter's hair gently. She hums a quiet tune, the kind only mothers know. Rain walks down the empty hallway, each step heavier than the last. He does not know what will happen next, but he knows one thing. This is no longer just a mission. This is no longer about orders. This is about a promise made long ago, a promise forgotten by many, but remembered by one. The law is the law. The alarm sounds across Border Station 9. As morning routines begin, machines come to life. Doors slide open. Soldiers march through clean metal corridors, but Officer Rain does not move from his desk, his eyes fixed on the report in front of him. A single line blinking in red. Immediate deportation approved. Alien adult and child to be transferred at 0800. Rain reads the line again. Then he reads it once more. His fingers curl around the edge of the desk. The girl's voice returns to his mind. Please do not take my mommy. He stands slowly and walks into the command chamber. Commander Hardened stands tall with hands behind his back. Cold eyes, voice like iron. He nods as Rain enters. The order is final. He says, I signed it myself. They leave this morning. Rain tries to stay calm. What if the child is half human? What if she has rights? The commander frowns. Does not matter. The mother is undocumented. The child is not registered. They are both aliens under the law. Rain says. The child's father is a missing Earth officer. The system matched his DNA. We should investigate. Halden turns to him slowly, and if it is true, then that officer broke code. He made contact without clearance. He crossed the line. Do you want to be the next one who disappears, Rainth? Words strike like lightning. Rain knows the meaning behind them. He nods and steps back. But something inside him burns. Later that hour, he walks to the detention cell. The girl sits on the floor, hugging her knees. She sees Rain and stands quickly. Is it time to go? Will I see the stars again? Rain kneels beside the bars. Do you trust me? He asks. She nods without fear. Then hold your mother's hand and do not let go. Lyra stands as Rain opens the cell. 2 guards behind him stiffen. Rain flashes a forged transport order. Official business, he says. They follow but do not ask ye. Leads them through the side hallway, away from main paths toward the medical bay. Inside, a single technician waits, a friend Rain trusts. Quickly they run a test again, more detailed, more advanced. Lyra watches with quiet eyes. She does not speak. The result arrives in less than 3 minutes. Rain reads it and feels the air leave his chest. Confirmed. The child is human hybrid genetic. Match with Commander Elias Ford. Status of father officially changed from presumed dead to unverified. Rain copies the report onto a secure drive. His hands move fast. He hides the chip inside his own badge. Then the alarm sounds again, real this time. Unauthorized movement in detention zone. Red lights spin. Guards shout across radius. Rain pulls Lyra and the child down a back stairwell. The technician delays the pursuers. Rain runs down dark halls. Through emergency doors, he reaches the hangar A. Small ground shuttle sits near the corner. Unused. Rain has the key code. He loads them in, locks the hatch, powers the engine. Through the glass he sees Commander Halden enter the hangar, his face red with rage. Rain, we trusted you, he shouts. Rain says nothing. He speaks only to the girl. Hold your mother's hand. Do not be afraid. The shuttle rises with a loud hum. Lyra watches the station disappear behind them. She says nothing, but her eyes say everything. Gratitude, fear, hope. The girl leans her head on Rain's arm. You believe me now? He nods. They travel in silence for hours. The sky above them wide and blue. Below, the world rolls by mountains, fields, old ruins of war. Rain takes them to an abandoned safe house once used by peacekeepers, now empty. Hidden from scanners, he lets them rest. He steps outside to breathe. He thinks of what he has done. He has broken protocol. He has gone against direct orders. He has risked everything for a mother and child he met only days ago, but inside he feels peace. For the first time in years, he feels like he did something right. The door opens behind him. Lyra steps out. She stands beside him in silence. You lost something too, she says. Rain nods. A brother in the last war. He disappeared on an alien planet. We never found him. Lyra places a hand on his shoulder. Sometimes the ones who vanish leave behind more than we know. Rain looks at the stars above. He knows they are no longer safe. The law will come, the command will hunt, but he also knows something else. The truth is out there, and now he carries it with him, the secret DNA. Stars blink above the mountain ridge as wind whispers through broken fences. The safe house sits silent among the rocks. Inside a small room, Officer Rain watches the old monitor glow. A new file has just arrived, encrypted, top clearance, only sent by the same technician who risked his job to help. Rain opens the file with trembling fingers. It is the final DNA result, complete match. Confirmed, subject Elias Ford is father of the child. Record updated from presumed dead to classified as set. Rain leans back, his chest heavy. So it is true, the child is part human. Born of a man once called a hero. Now buried in forgotten files, erased by his own command. He copies the file again, hides it on a backup chip, then deletes the trace from the system. No one can know he saw this. The door creaks behind him. It is Lyra. She holds a blanket around her shoulders, her face calm but her eyes searching. Did you find him? She asks. Rain nods slowly. Yes, and they always knew. Lyra looks down, her voice soft like a fading song. They took him from me, and they erased him from your world. But I never forgot. And I told our daughter every night, he was brave, he was kind, he loved the stars. Rain says nothing. There's nothing to say. The next morning the sky turns gray. Clouds gather like soldiers in the sky. Rain walks outside. Checks the horizon. Nothing yet. But he feels it. Something is coming inside. The child plays with an old data pad. She laughs at simple puzzles, her joy untouched by the storm forming around her. Suddenly, the radio crackles. A voice comes through, distorted and low. Rain picks up the receiver. Officer Rain, you are being tracked. They are not who you think they are. Protect the child. Do not trust your command. Repeat, do not trust your command. The signal cuts. Silence fills the room. Rain checks the radar screen. A signal blip appears for 2 seconds, then vanishes. A scout drone, perhaps, or worse. He moves quickly. Packs supplies, loads fuel into the shuttle. They must leave now, but Lyra stops him. Where will we go? They will find us again, no matter where we hit. Rain looks at her. I know a place off-grid, old station, shut down after the border war. No scanners, no patrol, but we have to move before they lock the sky. They leave as the first rain falls. The shuttle lifts with a soft hum. Rain takes the long route, through low canyons. Below, radar reach inside the cockpit. The child sleeps. Lyra watches the clouds pass, her thoughts hidden, her hands gently resting on her daughter's hair. Rain pilots with steady hands, but inside his mind races. Why now? Why such force? Why hide the truth of Elias Ford? And what do they want with a little girl? Suddenly a red light flashes. Incoming message, unknown source. He hesitates, then opens it. A single image appears, an old report marked classified. A photo of Elias Ford standing beside alien ruins, Lyra beside him, smiling, and behind them, a strange glowing object half buried in the ground below the image. A line of text, recovered tech has potential beyond known science. Protect at all costs, even if that means removing all witnesses. Rain feels the blood drain from his face. This is not about fear of aliens. This is about power. He looks at the girl, sleeping peacefully, unaware that she may carry something more than memories, something inside her, something they want. Rain shuts down the message. He cannot risk being traced. They reach the abandoned station by nightfall. It is old, dusty, half broken, but safe for now inside. Rain locks the doors, sets up defense codes. They will need time later as darkness wraps around them. He sits alone in the control room, the stars above watching like silent judges. He remembers the girl's voice, her trust, her courage. He remembers Lyra's silence, her strength, her pain, and he remembers Elias Ford, a name once proud, now hidden in shadows. Rain knows he cannot run forever. Soon they will come, and when they do, he must decide, will he obey or will he protect? Because sometimes the law is not justice, and sometimes the truth is more dangerous than lies. Her truth. The wind cries through broken windows of the old station. Dust dances in corners untouched by light. The air smells of rust and memory. Rain stands alone by the window, watching clouds cover the stars. His mind full, his chest tight. Behind him a soft voice speaks. You want answers? Turn around. Lyra stands in the doorway, wrapped in silence, her face calm, but not empty. She walks slowly to the table, sits down, her hands folded, her eyes not asking, but ready. Rain does not speak. He only nods. He sits across from her, waiting. Lyra begins. Years ago, my people sent me to observe, not to spy, but to understand. We watched many planets, but Earth was different. You love with fire, you fight with hope, you build, you break, but still you reach for the stars. I came as a healer, a scientist, not a soldier, not a threat. Then came the war. Borders closed, ships vanished, contact lost. Was left behind one of many. But I survive. Rain listens, his breath slow, his hands still. Lyra continues. When his ship fell from the sky, I thought it was a comet, but I found fire, metal smoke, and one man alive inside. Pointed a weapon at me, bleeding. Scared, still dangerous, but I did not. Rooney carried him to the shelter, used what I knew, healed his bones, his blood, his fear. At first he said nothing, then only questions, then stories he talked about Earth, about oceans, about silence in space. Rain sees her eyes change, a soft light in them, not sadness, not regret, only something deeper. He called himself Elias, But to me he was just a man without home. Without war in his eyes, we were alone. Time passed, seasons changed, and the silence between us became something else. He smiled for the first time. He built a small fire each night. He sang songs I did not understand. But I listened. One night he gave me a name, not in your language, but in his own heart. He called me safe, and I called him lost. But no longer Alana. Rain does not move his throat dry. His thoughts turning like wheels in smoke. Lyra places a small pendant on the table. Inside is a picture, old, faded, but clearly is smiling, his arm around Lyra, and in her hands, a child not yet born. Rain picks it up slowly. He feels heat where there is none. Lyra says we plan to leave. He fixed the beacon. He said Earth would take us in, that they would listen, but they did not. Ships came without warning, not to rescue, but to erase. They pulled him away, labeled him compromised, told me to surrender. I ran through mountains, storm cities, and shadows, and I carried our child born under strange skies, raised with two names, two hearts. Rain's voice finally returns. Why now? Why come back? Lyra looks at the closed door where her daughter sleeps, because she is not just ours. She is yours too, not by blood, but by future. She remembers oceans she has never seen, songs never sung to her, stories from a father she cannot meet, and now they want her. Not because she is dangerous, but because she is proof that peace once lived in war, that love crossed lines made by Rain stands, walks to the far wall, places a hand on cold steel. He remembers orders, laws, rules, made without faces. He also remembers the way the girl held his hand, the way she smiled at stars. He turns back, his voice steady. I believe you, and I will protect her. Lyra stands too. No more fear in her step. Thank you. Outside the wind grows louder, a storm forming beyond the hills. Rain knows time is running out, but now he carries more than duty. He carries truth. He carries her story, and he carries a choice to obey or to remember what justice truly means. The hidden enemy. Night falls heavy on the old station. Rain taps the roof like ticking clocks inside the dark control room. Rain scans old channels, frequencies shift, voices blur. Then one line breaks through the noise. They are coming. He leans closer. The message is short, encrypted, sent by someone inside. A name flashes once, then vanishes. Unknown. Asset. Rain calls Lyra into the room. She stands in silence, one hand resting on the door, her eyes calm but ready. He speaks low. We have maybe one day, maybe less. Lyra nods once, not in fear, in understanding. The child sleeps in the next room, unaware of the storm moving toward her. Rain checks security feeds. 2 satellites offline, a drone destroyed, a signature left behind, not alien, not random Earth tech. Military grade. Lyra walks to the old monitor. Her fingers trace a symbol on the screen. A black sun with 2 red lines through it. She speaks. I have seen this before, and looks at her, where she answers years ago on a battlefield. Before they took Elias. Before everything turned to fire. It belongs to a group not known by your people. Not fully. They hide behind names, but their purpose is simple control. At any coast. Rain remembers the encrypted file from earlier, the photo of Elias standing by a glowing object, a secret never spoken, a power never shared. He turns back to Lyra. What did they want from him? Lyra lowers her voice. They wanted knowledge, a weapon buried under alien ruins, technology that could bend time, heal matter, break distance between stars. Rain feels his throat tighten. So they took him, then erased him. She nods. He steps outside into the rain. Water pours from the black sky. He stands still, head tilted up, eyes closed. The enemy is not just policy, not just silence. It is something deeper. Something wearing the mask of law. Rain walks back in, locks the gate, sets new codes on the door. He loads the backup chip into a hidden vault, buried beneath the floor. If they find him, they must not find it. Suddenly, a soft alarm beeps. Motion detected. 10 miles east. Too fast for a storm, too quiet for animals. Rain calls Lyra. Time to go. They wake the girl, wrap her in a warm coat. Her violet eyes blink slowly. She does not cry. She does not ask. She simply takes her mother's hand and then looks at Rain. Are you still with you? She nods without speaking. They move fast into the transport shuttle. Rain sets a course west, through rocky canyons and signal shadows behind them. A black aircraft drops through the clouds. No insignia, no lights, no questions inside. That aircraft, men sit silent, helmets dark, weapons armed. They do not follow laws. They do not ask permission. They only complete missions. Back inside the shuttle, the child speaks. I had a dream last night, Rain. Asks, what did you see? She answers, a man in a storm. He held light in one hand and silence in the other. He walked toward fire but did not burn. Rain and Lyra exchange glances. The girl says nothing more. Hours pass. The shuttle reaches an abandoned research base, hidden under a collapsed mountain. Long forgotten by both Earth and alien records, Rain activates emergency power. Enough for heat and security inside the cold stone walls. They sit together. No one speaks. Only the sound of distant thunder remains. Then Rain opens a panel, reveals an old transmitter, one of the first built during Earth's early space war. He connects it, encrypts a message, broadcasts it to all independent relays. The message is simple: to any who still believe in truth, to those who have seen beyond borders, there is a child, a mother, a story they tried to bury. They are alive and they must be protected. He sends the message 3 times, then burns the transmitter. Later that night, Rain keeps watch at the main entrance. A soft sound reaches him, footsteps on wet stone. He raises his weapon. A shadow moves across the hallway, but disappears before it can be seen clearly. Rain waits, breathing slow, every sense sharp. He knows now. The enemy is here, not from space, not from distant planets, but born from fear, raised in secrets. Shielded by silence, the girl sleeps again, her breath calm. Lyra stands beside her, one hand always near. Rain knows the fight is no longer about survival. It is about memory, about truth, and about standing between those who destroy and those who dream. Final stand. The mountain breathes cold wind through broken vents inside the forgotten base. Rain stands at the edge of the tunnel, his eyes fixed on the scanner. A red signal blinks once, then again, then multiplies. They are here. He walks back to the main room. Lyra stands by the sleeping child. Her eyes meet his without question. Only one thought between them. This is the end of running. Rain opens the weapons locker, old but functional. 2 rifles, 1 pulse blade, 3 EMP grenades, enough to slow them, not stop them. Lyra takes the blade without a word. Rain loads the rifle. He kneels beside the girl. She opens her eyes slowly. Am I dreaming again? She asks. Rain shakes his head. Not this time. She holds his hand. I do not want to lose my mommy. You will not, I promise her. Rain knows promises break, but some are worth holding anyway. Leads them to the lower chamber, walls lined with lead and stone, a place scanners cannot reach. He gives Lyra a small key. If I do not return, use this. The pod is old, but it will fly. Lyra touches his shoulder. You have already done. Enifrain steps away, one man against shadows. Doors slam shut behind him. Outside the tunnel, a black ship lands without sound. Figures move like smoke, fast, precise. No words, no names. Rain watches from the shadows, then throws the first grenade. A flash of blue light. The first wave drops, but more follow. He runs across rusted catwalks, firing, dodging, not to win, but to draw them away. Inside the chamber, the child clings to her mother. Lyra listens to every sound above, each step closer, each breath louder. She holds the blade tight. Above, Rain takes cover behind a fuel tank. He fires again. Then his gun jams. He throws it aside, draws the last grenade. One figure steps forward, not like the others. No helmet, just a face. Rain knows. Commander Halden. Rain laughs without humor. Of course it is you. Halden smiles cold. You were always the problem. Too much heart, too little fair. Rain steps forward. And you were always afraid of the truth. Halden raises his weapon. She is not just a child, she is Data. She is the key. Rain throws the grenade. The blast sends both men flying. Smoke fills the air. Rain feels pain in his side. Blood warm beneath his armor. He crawls back toward the entrance, body weak, but mind clear. He reaches the chamber door, knocks twice. Lyra opens it fast, pulls an incinerator. Rain gasps for breath. They are not done. Lyra lifts him. places him against the wall, then turns to the panel. She activates the old pod. Systems blink to Liferain. Speaks through broken breath. You have 10 seconds. Golira carries her daughter to the pod. The girl looks back. Rain tries to smile. Stay brave. The door closes. The pod launches through the escape shaft. A trail of light behind it. Outside, more soldiers storm the base. But they are too late. Rain stands again. Barely he holds the blade now. The last line. Halden enters, face burned, eyes filled with rage. You lost her. Rain shakes his head. No. She lives. She remembers. That is victory. The two men charge metal against metal. History in every strike. The fight is short, but not empty. In the final moment, Rain pushes Halden into the main reactor. Korea, burst of white light. Silence. Then collapse. Hours pass in the dark sky above. A small ship floats silently inside. Lyra holds her daughter close. The girl whispers, "Will he be okay?" Lyra looks out the window, then at the small pendant around her neck. Inside, a picture of a man who once dreamed of peace. He was the light, she says, and we carry that light now, far away on another world. A signal reaches an old satellite. A message begins to spread. A story once hidden, now open. A girl, a mother, a man who chose to protect instead of obey. The message ends with his Namarainen, the words he last spoke. She lives to them. That is enough. The stars keep watching, but now they remember.